Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Weight Loss War podcast. It is December 12th. I'm your host, Trevor, and today we're going to be talking about semaglutide for weight loss. But before we get into it, I'd like to share a quote, as I always do. Today is by Theodore Roosevelt. He said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." All right, so like I said, we're going to talk about semaglutide for weight loss. A lot of you out there have heard of it. Semaglutide is a prescription medication I am not a doctor, that doctors prescribe to patients for weight loss. It is classified as a glucagon-like peptide, and what it does is it mimics the GLP-1 hormone that is released in your gut in response to eating. So what does that even mean? What does that mean? So you take the injection. It is a weekly injection that we use. You inject it into your stomach, under the skin, not intramuscularly, but you inject it and it does three things. It helps control your gastric emptying, it increases insulin secretion, and it signals the hypothalamus that the body is sated. But what does that mean? We tell that to our patients here at our clinic, but what does that even mean? Well, helping control gastric emptying means we are keeping the food in the stomach longer. That means you are full longer, so you aren't as hungry throughout the day. It increases insulin secretion, meaning it helps you control your cravings. You avoid the sugar spikes, the insulin spikes, and you're less likely to want to overeat. You don't crave things as much. It really helps monitor that side of things for our patients, myself included, having taken the medication myself. The next thing is it signals the hypothalamus that the body is sated, meaning it sends a signal to your brain that you are full. When we increase the level of the GLP-1 peptide in your system, it tells your body that you are full sooner, that you are sated sooner, so you are eating less. So essentially, it helps you control your cravings, it helps you eat less, and then you stay full longer because it's keeping the food in your stomach longer. We have here at Ultimate Medical Weight Loss, my weight loss clinic, we have had probably 300 and 350 people come through our clinic over the past year who have taken semaglutide or another medication, tirzepatide, which is another weight loss injection medication that we provide that does a really great job as well. We have seen great success for people taking both semaglutide and tirzepatide. Another episode, we will go through what tirzepatide is and what it can do. But the point is, these are tools that can help us on our weight loss journey to lose weight, manage our weight loss process, and create habits that will help us continue to lose weight and keep it off. But like I mentioned, semaglutide is a prescription medication. That means that you need to see a doctor to take the medication. He needs to monitor you and make sure that you qualify and that you are a fit for the medication. We have about four things that we look for when we are pre-qualifying someone to meet with our doctor to see if they qualify for semaglutide. So the people who can't take them, who we immediately turn away are anyone who has had medullary thyroid cancer, anyone who has had multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, anyone who has had a history of pancreatitis, and anyone who is pregnant, planning on getting pregnant, or who is currently lactating. These four symptoms, you could call them symptoms, these things, we disqualify you immediately. There are studies out there for each one saying that you're not a good fit if you've had any of these. Do I know? Have I read those studies? I have not, to be honest. But both of our doctors that we work with and every study out there recommend these four things. We just avoid them, blanket sweep. If you have had one of these things, one of those three things, the medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, and a history of pancreatitis, you can't take it. If you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant or you are lactating, then that is a hard no right now. But once you are done, or if you are, you've had your baby or you've decided you're not going to get pregnant anymore, or you're done lactating, you're done breastfeeding, then you can take it once you're done. So there's that. We have, like I said, we've had a lot of patients come through our clinic over the last year since we've been opened, and they have had wonderful experiences on it. A lot of people have lost weight and gotten a lot healthier because they have been able to use this tool to lose weight. The main side effects, though, that we talk about are nausea, constipation, and diarrhea. And for 95% of our patients, the nausea is mild. Constipation and diarrhea are manageable. None of the systems, none of these symptoms, the side effects, are enough that they want to quit. It's not debilitating. It does exist, though. You can feel a little nausea. Sometimes you will feel constipated or you will have diarrhea. There are things that you can do to, manage those symptoms. For if you're feeling nauseous, a lot of times eating just a little tiny bit of something helps me. I've had, I've been on it for I'm not currently on it, but I have been on it in the past when I was. I would make sure that I have eaten a meal recently or, kept my blood sugars in the right place, I guess, is how you would say that. I am not a doctor, by the way, if you haven't guessed. The other thing that we recommend if it gets really bad, our doctors recommend taking like an over-the-counter Dramamine or something, or they can prescribe like a Zofran or something. Generally speaking, the doctors we work with don't like prescribing a medication and then another medication to counter the side effects and then another medication to counter the side effects of the medication that's countering the side effects. But in this case, occasionally that is something that they will do because it really works to help you manage your weight, to get down, to build those habits. Like I said, it's a tool. And then there are no real symptoms to taking nausea medication for that. If you're having constipation or diarrhea, we recommend making sure you have plenty of water. And if you need it, you can take a stool softener or fiber capsules, fiber supplements to help you manage your bowel, symptoms. And that seems to have worked really well. That has worked really well for me. Like I said, I've had a lot of people come through this clinic who have done really well on the weight loss medications. But the thing that I feel like I need to stress and that I try and stress to everyone is these are not permanent solutions. Semaglutide is a tool, just like anything else. It is a tool that will help you lose weight, like I said, because it helps keep the food in your stomach longer. It sends the signal to your brain that you are full sooner, and it helps manage your cravings. And those are great things. But once you stop, it stops doing those things. So you have two options, three, I guess. You can continue to take the medications forever, and that these were originally medications meant for diabetic patients. And diabetic patients have been taking these medications for the last 15 or 20 years. There are no indications of long-term problems for taking these medications. The FDA has approved them for long-term use. In fact, we know a doctor in Florida who has decided that he's just going to remain on a low maintenance dose of these medications for the rest of his life because he doesn't want to, return to being pre-diabetic or, getting up there and dealing with the negative health consequences of being overweight. He has decided he's going to continue taking them forever. That is not an option for a lot of people, though, because medications are expensive. And you can either stay on it forever or get off and you didn't learn how to keep the weight off, or you didn't, learn how to manage your weight. If you didn't do that and you gain weight again, then you can, yo-yo up and down, and you will take the medication, lose the weight. If you gain it back, you can take it again and you can go through this cycle. Or while you're taking it, you can view it as a tool that is used to help you manage and learn the habits needed to keep your weight down, to develop the habits like exercise and proper eating habits, develop a community. We have a framework that we use here at our clinic that we recommend for everyone that helps them learn how to keep it off. A lot of times, in my experience, people view semaglutide as a short-term tool that's going to solve all of their problems. And it can, in the short term, really help. But if you don't learn how to manage your weight and learn the habits to keep it off now, you will gain the weight back. 67% of people who start and lose weight on semaglutide will gain it back within the first year. It's not permanent, just like any other diet out there. If you lose weight but you don't have a sustainable plan afterwards, you will not be able to keep it off. For this reason, here at Ultimate Medical Weight Loss, we're working on a course that gives you all of the tools you need to keep the weight off. While you're losing weight with the medications, we have a step-by-step process that you can take that will help you lose the weight, keep it off, and learn how to keep it off once you're done. So, like I said, it's a work in progress. We're hoping to release it in the next month, but regardless, it is something that people need to understand, and I try and stress with all of the patients that come through our clinic is that, hey, you need to learn how to manage your weight now, and while you're on it, develop the habits you need to keep it off, or you will gain it back. And that's the one thing that I wish everyone knew about semaglutide, is that you will gain it back if you don't put in the work to create real habits and maximize your results long term. So anyway, if you guys have any more questions about that, about semaglutide, what it does, the results we've seen, let us know. I will be I will be talking about my experience coming up on weight loss injections. I will be talking about the questions I had, what I'd wish I'd known. We do a lot of these prescriptions and injections at our clinic. And like I said, it is a great tool if you qualify and with doctor supervision to lose the weight and keep it off. But you have to be prepared for the battle long term, which is why I started this podcast, the Weight Loss War podcast. We need to reevaluate how we think about losing weight. We need to be prepared for the long battle and realize that the battle has just begun when we are reaching our goal weight. It will be a constant battle to keep it off long term for the rest of your life. And once you get down, it's easier to stay down than it is to go up and down and up and down. And that's why we're having this podcast discussion right now. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. This was a little bit longer than I intended, but it's something that I wanted to discuss because we have a lot of patients that we bring into our clinic specifically for these medications. And I want to pass that information on to all of you. So I appreciate anyone who's listening. If you have any questions, my email is trevor@ultimatemedicalweightloss.com, and I will see you tomorrow.